as a web of child sex abuse. Real Men contains strong language and distressing scenes.
All right, Simon. On your toes, eh?
Yep. Oh, hi, Leith.
Bang embarrassing. Sam, she's in with Mum. Simon's here. Yeah. Simon! You're right.
You all right?
It's your mum. She's still at the shop.
Hi, Mum.
Any joy with the car ringing?
One bloke turned up, looked like he might be a regular punter. Nobody's checking him out.
Mr. Sandals? Not now. Fiat Uno outside. Routine. My name's Detective Constable Norbury. Like I said, I've got a strict routine. It's not a big deal. It's just a few questions.
The case of 12-year-old Lawrence Meikle
here we go.
has been missing for 3 years. The last known movements of Lawrence were captured on CCTV. So let's now cross over to Look North's Ron Dixon, who has the full story.
It's 3 years today since Lawrence Meikle disappeared. Lawrence was just 11 years old when he walked out of his school at Walton Road. He's not been seen since. Lawrence was wearing grey trainers, a blue hooded
I'm looking at
sweatshirt
you.
with a number 7 over his heart.
Hanging around school gates, you might be a suspect.
Several people saw Lawrence.
Well, you're not
as he
given a
started
number
down
to
Walton
call.
Road.
That's why if you did a formal police appeal today, we'd...
It's hard to believe a boy his
Yeah,
age
yeah,
can
okay.
just vanish without anyone
Today?
anything.
Only day for it.
Later today we will talk with Lawrence.
It was a good time.
Desperate.
With Marshall getting out, people are bound to be jumping.
Desperate at the very least.
Yep.
You've got proof of ownership, registration documents, driving licence, etc.
Maybe later.
You had some work done on your car.
Excellent. Overtime. Request some backup.
You close to yours?
What, my dad? Close to his fists. Oh, look out, here's Brittany.
Oh, school uniform.
What, not like last century?
What's your nan saying?
Still not going.
Mum,
I've told you to go. Why should I go?
if you need me to tell you why, even for your own sake, Mum, to miss your husband's funeral. You and Dad spent most of your lives together.
Lives. He was quite happy.
But Simon's lost his granddad. He's upset enough as it is.
Of course he cares.
See the suit he's wearing? Mum left out a black one, but he chose that because he thinks it'll look better on television.
What? Oh, Meikle. Well, sometimes your daddy has to do these appeals.
Don't be too hard on him, Sam. I'm sure he's a lot more upset than he lets on.
Boy, come on, we have liftoff.
Simon?
sort of name is that?
The sandals! Sandals!
Shit!
Oh, bastard! Oh, fuck! It's my house.
What do you think you're doing?
No, move. No, Terence! 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 No!
Sorry.
No!
Oi, you missus. Move down.
Jim is survived by his first wife, Dolores, his loving son, Matthew, and daughter-in-law, Liz, and of course his two grandchildren, Samantha and Simon. Jim was cared for throughout his illness by his loving partner, Julie.
Julie, we'll be in touch.
But you're not coming back?
We weren't planning.
Of course you weren't. Well, bye-bye, Simon. Samantha, you're very kind to come.
Bye, Julie. Thank you. Thanks for coming. All right.
What did doggy do, boss?
You walk in, Mr. Sandals, he legs it home and kills himself. That's it.
Like a greyhound. It's incredible, the size of him.
Boo! Did you say boo?
You're the last person to speak to him. And he had nothing to do with the car ringing.
There's even a repair bill from the workshop.
Fuck. I've got a television news crew out there.
Yeah, and his mates in and all kicking off the householder.
Television?
Yeah, for the Lawrence thing. Who is this guy?
Alex Collins, age 32, armed robbery, taken in driving away, and oh, nice, assaulting a police officer.
Groovy.
Mummy's frightened. Stop! Please, Russell! Russell, please! Mum, please! Russell! Mum, please! I'm frightened, Russell! Please, Russell! Mum, Russell, please! Kill me, Russell! Oh, please don't! No, please! Russell, help me, Russell!
You'll be fine, love.
Please, Mum! Russell, Russell, please! Russell! Please don't do this! Please! Please don't! Please, Russell!
Come on. Russell.
Fuck off, I told you!
Russell. It's not your fault. One of the more cruel things about your mother's illness is it tells her not to take the very medication that keeps her well. And when she is well, she'll know how much you've done for her. Now, have you got any relatives up here? Has your mum got any friends?
We've only been here a few months.
Right, well, we'll find somewhere for you to stay.
I can stay here and look after myself. I can.
Russell, you'll need to be in good shape for when your mum comes home. If I'm going to, I'll have to start now, because we could be here all day.
All set? Yep. Ready?
Okay, camera's turning in speed.
It's 3 years ago today since 11-year-old Lawrence Meikle disappeared from outside Walton Road School. Detective Inspector Matthew Fenton has been leading the inquiry.
Lawrence Meikle was last seen walking away from Walton Road School. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. Lawrence had a history of truancy. He liked slamming school.
I think you'll like it here.
Not for long, though.
Russell, your mum's being well looked after. Hi, Alistair.
Hiya.
Russell, this is Mr. Jackson.
Hey, Russell. All right? Let me help you with those.
All right.
Come on in.
No, I did not swap these.
You got a friend.
I'll give you that one.
Oh, you can give it in.
You can have that one for 50.
That's all one of them.
Crap. Well, don't buy it then.
Everybody,
Who's he?
this is Russell.
He's got a mobile.
That's Lester, Karen, Yvonne, that's Gamer, Mark, that's Ryan.
I know you. You've got a special head.
Ryan.
Calm down, come on.
This is Mr. Hill.
Dave. His mum's a nutter.
Ryan, you don't know what you're talking about.
She's not a prostitute.
You're the prostitute.
Oi.
So funny, Ryan. How come nobody likes you?
Is this how you welcome a new resident? Eh? Oh, is it indeed? Right. Is this how you felt when you first arrived, yeah? Is this how any of you were welcomed? You remember how it felt, yeah? Lester, you're sharing with Russell. You show him your room.
Oh, look. Lester's getting all excited. You love that, won't you, Lester?
Just because I don't fancy fat dogs, bitch.
Hey, enough. Come on. Okay, come on. Have a word.
So Collins has a criminal record. What about Sandals?
Nothing we know about.
Mr. Collins.
You're the CEO.
That's right. Very sorry about the incident.
You don't know what it was.
I mean, what is going on?
Look, that's all I can say at the moment. He's just helping us with our inquiries.
Terence works, hadn't any form. As far as anyone can see, he's nothing to fear. But once a policeman very reasonably
right.
asks for a word with him, Terence runs home and kills himself. What are we meant to make of that?
I don't know. That's your stooge. What did he want with Terence?
The time it took, quality of the noose, he must have prepared it already.
Terry is what society will call a loner. He liked mucking about in the gym, doing his thing. But he was happy living with us.
A lot of bodybuilders are into steroids.
No, Terry knew what he was doing.
If he was doing steroids, it means...
Antidepressants he was taking.
Antidepressants? Why was he...
Because he was in such a good mood all the time. Why do you think? I've been wanting him to... for a long time now. We were ex-kids. We were in care together.
Whereabouts?
Borderley Green, mainly. I've been going to see...
Sorry, you were both in Borderley Green?
It's a care home. It's closed down now.
How long were you there?
5 years.
This would be...
82 to 87.
So, sorry, I want to get...
I'm trying to tell you why he might have run. If you fuckers hadn't frightened the life out of him...
Just take it step by step.
I've been talking to one of your lot. If you can believe that. DS Savage. Terence and me rowed over it.
Savage? Detective Sergeant Paula Savage, right? Child protection.
Okay.
Terence didn't want nothing to do with it. See, things happen there in Bosley Green. I've been wanting to make a statement. Said he had his own way of dealing with it. But I reckon he thought, because I've come to you, then you were now going to come and see him.
For a statement? As a witness? A complainant? Child protection officer, am I right in assuming that this statement would be about abuse of some sort? Sexual abuse? Bosley Green, at that time, did you know another resident, Brian Marshall? His time and your time there would have coincided.
So?
You keep in touch with Marshall?
Oh, man. What has Marshall got to do with anything?
It would just help us.
Look, I'm trying to tell you why Terence might have killed himself.
If I understand you correctly, Alex, you're suggesting that Terence killed himself because the officers involved might have been seeking a statement about alleged sexual abuse in Bosley Green.
I want to see Miss Savage.
We're not looking for Marshall. He's in prison.
I know.
When did you last see him?
About 3 years ago.
3 years? Whereabouts?
Mine. Called up out of the blue, asked could he come round.
This is 3 years ago.
That's what I said. Phoned up. Asked could he stay a few nights. We said okay.
Alex, I don't want to alarm you, and I'm grateful to you for coming in and answering our questions. But I'm now going to ask you for permission to conduct a search of your house.
You are?
I'm asking you to help us with our inquiries into the disappearance of Lawrence Meikle.
Are you fucking nuts?
Alex? Are you refusing?
Lawrence Meikle was last seen walking away from Walton Road School. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. Lawrence had a history of truancy. He liked slamming school.
Why the renewed appeal?
3 years later on, people may decide they want to assist the police inquiry. Relationships change, allegiances, all sorts of things can make you decide the time has come to act.
Bang on to the school. I want forensics on the car, every inch of the house, semen, bloodstains, clothing fragments. I want every aspect of Sandal's connection with Marshall investigated.
I've been working with Alex. He's been close to making a statement about Bosley Green. If you wouldn't mind explaining.
And you are?
DS Savage. Child protection.
Forget it, I can't handle this.
Alex, please.
Well, you're all great on the telly, aren't you? Talking about the public helping. I've been through hell with this. You couldn't care less, you arrogant bastard.
Go on.
Shout of bastards, a lot of you.
Alex!
Look, I'm trying to report a crime. She's other people wanting to know a load of crimes. All you do is treat me like a criminal.
Are you willing to make a statement about Bosley Green?
Right, and yeah. Here I am.
Then we're prepared to investigate him.
It was that look straight to camera, like you haven't practiced it. We will all fail this family. Who do you think you are? Tony Blair?
Wait till my fan mail starts.
Oh, that'd be hate mail. Lawrence liked slamming school. Yeah, cool.
What about Mum? There's a bit of a turn up.
I'll say. It's good though. Sam's upset.
Sam.
What?
Sam hardly knew him.
Well, she's not going to know, is she?
What's that supposed to mean?
What said?
She's a teenager. Teenagers are fascinated by the morbid.
How would you know? You'd have had to have been one.
Alexander Collins, 23 Walton Drive, 19th of the 9th, 71.
Could you tell us a bit about yourself? Where you were born?
Here.
Where did you live?
Walton Drive, till I were 4. Then I were taken into care. Each loads and moved to Portley Green. Second night. Thompson. Wally, we call him. He wasn't the head man, if you know what I mean. But he was the bloke in charge of that night. So he told me to sit down on his bed.
What age are you?
11. About a month before 11.
This is the staff bedroom.
Mr. Thompson began to rub his hand up and down my leg, on my thigh. I didn't say anything. It was a new home. One I didn't know. I didn't respond. And he began touching my penis. He didn't say anything. I was just a bit frightened what he might do if I resisted. I was only a kid. I never... And he loosened his jeans. Stood up in front of me. His penis was erect. Didn't say anything. Just pushed it in my mouth. I was moving it backwards and forwards in my mouth. I didn't. I wasn't. He was wanking it in my mouth. I didn't like what was happening. But I didn't know how to resist. And then he came, ejaculated into me. I didn't understand that. He wasn't allowed to do those things. I mean, as far as I was concerned, they just sort of owned me. Certain Thompson wasn't the only one. Folk talks about weekends away with the boys, holiday weekends. Boys got passed around like cider bottles.
Alex requested access to a social work file. In it you'll find contemporaneous reports written on Alex by Mr. Thompson.
Alex, I have to ask, why? Why you didn't tell anyone?
You grow up, don't you? I mean, there's hurt there, but... You don't talk about it. I mean, who'd you talk to? You don't think about it. You just think real men don't feel these things.
What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't shag him.
Think about it.
I would rather not.
We select ex-residents to interview. Limited inquiry. We'll get a whole new resource allocation, new overtime accounting, high-profile inquiry. What we're really getting is a second bite at the Meikle investigation. As far as the public's concerned, as far as the press, we're not sorting a mess. We're doing a good thing. I've already cleared it upstairs.
We want to get you back home with your mum as soon as her health permits. That's what you want too, isn't it?
Mum hates hospitals.
We want to get you out of here and back with her as soon as possible. That's the plan. Any problems you have, you talk to Dave here. Dave is your key worker. Okay? You'll be fine. I'll talk to you later. Dave, Wally Thompson, can you remember when he last worked here?
I wonder how long it'd be.
Well, once your mum's well enough and we know she's able to cope, don't worry, you'll be fine. Any problems, just give us a phone. Eh? Well, this is nice. Yeah. Oh. Sit down. Whose is that?
Not mine.
What are the other boys like?
All right.
Who else is in here with you, Alistair? I bet you don't get posters like that at home. Not all bad, is it? If you're really not happy here, I can try and find you a foster family.
I've got my own family.
I know.
Mum hates it in hospital. She feels like a prisoner.
Well, Mr. Jackson and I will talk to the hospital about a visit.
Serious?
Yeah, when your mum's up to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Our initial intake came from Bordsley Green, so Thompson worked for us a lot in the beginning. Since then, he's been on an agency list.
Not any longer, obviously.
No, he hasn't worked with us for 18 months.
I mean, it'll take a couple of days, but we could prepare a list of
First
children.
things first. We'll start with the exporter green files. See if anyone corroborates Collins.
I could take you out to Bordsley Green if you like, see the layout, while we wait for the files.
There are 6 more stacks.
Thompson's personnel file. A big wally.
You were looking at 30, 40 kids. Nowadays, maybe 8, 10 in a home. Staff are far better trained and vetted. Well, in theory.
Dormitory. Staff bedroom, as per Collins' statement. If we find the evidence to corroborate what Collins is saying, and it turns out he was abused, what's the likelihood of Collins himself
being an abuser? The vast majority of victims of sexual abuse don't go on to abuse. But most adults who abuse children were sexually abused themselves as children, so...
What makes a difference? One goes on to...
We don't know, basically, how life was before the abuse.
The type of abuse.
If violence was involved, whether it was systematic.
whether a group of abusers were involved.
All these things make a difference.
Collins alludes to children going away for the weekend. There are suggestions of violence.
Who knows? It's not that long ago, but places like this, they were another world. Kids spent their lives in care. Nowadays, you get them out, get them back into the community wherever possible. It's not always, but you can see why.
It's hard to believe that was only 6 months ago. All that's going back to the hospital. I rang them and they said they'd send someone round, but
I'll take them back.
there's no need, Matthew.
No, I'll take them back.
Matthew, are you all right?
Yeah, of course.
It's just... well, you seem...
I want my dad back. That's not going to happen, is it?
I'm sorry.
I saw so little of him. I know it's my own fault. Give us a few days, and I'll get those things back for you.
This is the best place in here. It's just like an house.
Where'd you get them from? Oh, they're a present. What? We had to know.
I'll be living here in a few years. Fun? Yeah. You like a 99?
Fuck off, you.
Fun's a dirty cow.
No, I'm not.
My dad used to make a practice on ice cream. I read the files. I do sneak it into the office and read everyone's. So I'm gonna know all about you.
Karen wants to know if he's a virgin.
She is stiff.
No, I'm not. Puff. He definitely is. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are.
What are you lot up to?
Just chilling.
Listening to some tunes. Relaxing, you know.
I've spoken to the hospital. They say your mum's improving. They're going to get on to Christina to arrange a visit. It won't be long.
Oh, that's brilliant.
From what everyone tells me, your mother's a lovely woman. I know she's depending on you without your dad around. She's a school teacher. We have to be sure your mum can cope with you. And that is going to depend on how well you behave while you're here. The better you behave while you're here, the more likely you are to get back home with your mum. You understand that, Russell?
These are 10 years files from former residents of Bawdsey Green.
A few familiar faces.
We need to select the 10 best chance subjects from each year. Children who were potential victims, say 15, 16, 17 years ago. By that, I mean children with few outside contacts. Children referred to as lonely or introverted, as having difficulty fitting in, as small for their age. Children with a history of absconding. Children who gain convictions for stealing, breaking and entering. Violence against smaller children.
As children or as adults?
Both.
Oh, lucky Mr. Brian Marshall. Attitude on admission, visibly shocked and tearful, but settled in quickly. Brian is a sensitive, gentle boy, shy and tentative in his efforts to make friends. However, underneath his shyness is a sunny, helpful disposition. A bedwetter, he won't like that.
Look at this. Brian has the best eyes I've ever seen. Bright and sparkling, utterly beautiful.
I actually wrote that.
Unsigned entry.
Kids were always breaking into the staff room, going through my things.
And this will be duly recorded.
Everything Thompson said confirms Colin's statement.
What about the house?
If they were caught.
Collins's house.
Forensics didn't find anything.
Marshall's out in 2 days. He's bound to have heard something about sandals. Anna's conducting a search.
So?
I'd like to be the one to remind him of his little visit. Given his proximity to the school, he could have developed a relationship with Lawrence.
A fixation. An obsession, maybe. But a relationship in that context. Not without attracting a lot of attention.
Yeah, but that's what these offenders do.
Well, that sort of grooming, gradually gaining a boy's trust, that doesn't happen over a school wall. That needs a plausible relationship, a context. No one notices because it's so visible, not because anyone's hiding it. Well, it's like our friend here. There's already a relationship.
What about surveillance once Marshall gets home?
We can't justify 24/7 surveillance. We know he's got to stay in a halfway house. It's a parole condition.
Track him. Make sure he turns up.
Exactly. I might take a look at him before he's released. Maybe the two of us go rattle his cage.
Gov, what do you want to do?
Bail him for the time being.
Yeah, I want to rebuild my life. Start afresh. All that. All that stuff.
You were interviewed on 2 occasions in connection with the Lawrence Meikle investigation.
Twice.
In each interview, you gave an account of your movements with a 3-day gap. Have you remembered anything about that gap? Where you may have been, if you visited that part of Leith?
What part is this?
Wexley Road, Walton Road, generally that area.
I may have visited a friend on Walton Road.
Who was this friend?
Terence Sandals. He passed away recently.
You were staying...
In very tragic circumstances.
You were staying 200 yards from where Lawrence Meikle was last seen alive, during exactly that period.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why you never mentioned this?
Must have forgot.
Forgot?
I mean, I don't remember forgetting, but I must have.
Do you remember staying at the house?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. And I don't remember why I didn't say.
What were you doing at this house?
Visiting. Old friends.
Friends?
From care.
How often did you see them since you left care?
Once.
These old friends?
Old as in from the past.
What was the purpose of the visit?
Catching up.
But why then? That particular timing?
Was in the area.
What brought you to the area?
Bus, I think.
We will get there, you know.
Where's that then?
The reason you were there?
That's assuming I need a reason.
Your release day's coming up. You plan on visiting there again?
Don't believe in planning.
Each of you now has a group of best chance subjects for interview. Looking at their child care files, you have some idea of the adult you're dealing with.
Not half.
At the moment, we're less concerned with witness credibility than building a picture of what did or did not take place. Experience shows it's best to visit in pairs. Dress casually. Isolate the person before explaining the reason for the visit. And quickly emphasise that he or she is in no way being questioned as a suspect.
Yeah, I can take a witness statement.
They
love.
are being invited to give statements.
OK, thanks. Boss, Marshall's made it to the halfway house.
Good. We've one female prospect. Would you care to?
Sure.
Police? What do police want with me?
There's nothing to be alarmed about, Miss Banner.
I haven't done anything.
No one's suggesting you have.
Well then, what do you want with me?
A few questions.
James is a feckless, insignificant little boy, thoroughly unappealing in manner.
Oh, right.
He's frequently involved in petty larceny, usually shoplifting, a habitual liar.
Lovely.
James Mulgrew, this is your useless life.
There were very few girls in Bordesley Green. Were you happy there?
Didn't want to be there. How could I be happy?
Do you remember a staff member, Wally? Big Wally, Mr. Thompson?
No.
You certain?
I don't really remember anything about them. I'm not sure that I want to. I don't have to talk to you, do I? No?
No, but...
You know everything about me. Why'd you have to talk to me? They're their files.
You could help us...
Sorry, I'm finding this oppressive.
Miss Banner...
I don't want you here. But I'm not under arrest, am I? I can ask you to leave, can't I?
Of course. Please, I apologise if
Well, I am. I'm asking you to leave.
If you could just have a think
Of course
about...
we'll leave. We only called in case you wish to speak with us.
If I wish to speak with you, why? Why would I want to talk to you?
It's a bit of an head bender. Out of the blue, like.
Sure.
Right, Shan. It's all a bit weird. I'm married, like, with Baines. And I like putting it about a bit. You know what I mean? Don't want any iffy vibes getting about.
Everything at this stage is confidential. If you have something...
Aye. I reckon I do. I can help you. This went on for years, man. Not just one of them. Half of them were at it.
But we can talk wherever you like. A cafe or a pub.
No, not in public. I can't do this in public.
Well, we'll find somewhere.
Back at the station?
Yeah.
And you'll make a statement?
I'll come down.
I'm on television, and all the mad squad are outside.
Tell her to get over here. She's got to help us.
There's an officer...
Outside.
Tell her to get over here. She's got to help us.
There's an officer present.
Oh, yeah? One lonely wooden top in case you can't find the house.
Alex, they're excluding you as a suspect.
What's that? So in the mad squad?
Alex.
Shit.
Alex, what is it?
What's he doing here?
Beast, aye? Likes his bananas green.
Alex.
He's a pup! Dirty beast! Fucker!
Marshall's out there stirring it now. I don't believe it.
You the little boy's dad? Aye. Very sorry, mate.
He's only talking to Meikle.
Marshall's talking to Meikle. What's he up to? You've got to take some of the pressure off Collins. We'll never get him to court.
Get us out of here now!
Listen, we need protection right now. Anything can happen with this mob.
Send the car over. Get him in here.
Bastard! You stupid fuckers! He's a convicted beast! What? sell child protection. That's a laugh. What about my daughter, eh? Who's protecting her?
There is an officer on duty.
The boy's father, Meikle. He's all gangstered up.
What was Marshall saying to Charlie Meikle?
I don't know, do I? He loves winding people up. Listen, I need some accommodation. I need a transfer or something.
Why are you so frightened?
Christ! Meikle's capable of anything. He's lost his son.
I'll speak to Charlie Meikle. Then we'll see about protection.
In your statement, you mentioned some of the boys going on weekend trips. The only record we can find is for Brian Marshall, Spring '82.
Yeah, I remember. After one, he was scratching on his face. So bad it was raw, it was bleeding. I thought that he'd had a fight or something, or he'd fell or something. But no, he was doing it to himself. He'd been one of them students.
Do you remember who the student was?
You know, care students who used to come down for training.
Can you remember anything about this person?
Oh, I don't know. You know the type. Bloody saved the world. Free Nelson Mandela. Listen, we need to get out of here. We need accommodation. We need to get a transfer.
That's not down to us, Alex. That's housing.
I know, but you can help, can't you? You can talk to them.
Take it easy. Let's see what happens.
You want your Irish music CDs to make you feel better? Or your books? You miss your books? Mum, please? I like it where I am. You don't have to worry about me. Mum! Mum, please! Mum! Please, Mum, say something! Mum, please! Mum!
Your mum won't get better today or tomorrow, but she will get better. And right now, you've got to be the strong one, Russell. Is your dad ever in touch? Or any way we could get in touch with him? Would you like that? Would it help? Come on, Russell. Your mum's gonna get better before you know it.
Oh, I've been in, don't know, man, about a dozen. Between homes and foster families. Mainly homes. Yeah, a dozen placements, easy. Bordesley Green. I went into just before my birthday.
Which birthday?
10, 11. Yeah, Mr. Thompson, he abused me. Mr. Thompson takes me into his room.
Describe it.
This room. What was it like?
Well, there's like a door to the landing and then a corridor. And at the end of the corridor is the staff room. Staff room. I found out afterwards you weren't meant to be in the staff room. Boys weren't. It kind of made me feel special. Though, of course, I wasn't. Well, I mean, from then on, it just became a regular event.
With Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, him and Jackson.
Jackson?
Check it.
This Jackson?
Yeah, he's still in that game and all, with kids. Always after new kids. Still running on to this guy, check him out. Jackson. He raped me every day for near 2 years.
Jackson? Just like that. He raped me every day.
This is the guy who pulled files for us. He was filling me in on abusers, Bosley Green.
Mulgrew is a convicted fraudster.
All the records confirm that James was resident during the relevant period. We have written entries by Thompson confirming their contacts. And we know Jackson worked there at the time.
Oh, he's still running on this guy. Check him out. Jackson. He raped me every day for near to you. I don't buy it. There's criminal compensation in the background here. Mulgrew is a scumbag, right? We know he's a scumbag, and now he says, please, sir, somebody touched me bum 20 years ago, and we're all expected to believe him. Ask a jury to.
We've got to lift Jackson.
Look at his record. Theft, drugs, deception, fraud.
Barry, this is a signed statement. Kids are currently in his care.
We are getting further and further away from the Meikle inquiry. This was all supposed to be just another route to Marshall.
Must be the job ads.
What?
It's an interview suit if ever I saw one.
Well, you should know. Your wife helped me pick it.
Well, I said to her, we can't all be media stars.
If it helps you feel better.
We'll have to talk to social services.
He's hardly out of it these last few months. Fussing about these new digital channels. He loved the old black and white films on the afternoons.
Yeah?
He was happy here. There's something... The undertakers got on to me and I didn't want them. Your dad's ashes. I mean, not because... I mean, he was my life. It's just... They're not... They're not for me. And then I thought you might like them.
Thank you. Thanks, Julie.
Jim wasn't a bad man.
I know that.
He hung on as long as he could.
When you say he...
Well, when your mum wasn't well.
He hung on. How long did he hang on?
Well, we'd been seeing each other for some time before, obviously.
How long for?
I don't really remember.
Look, if you don't want to.
Well, maybe 6 years. Matthew, we loved each other.
Sure. I quite understand. 6 years. Thanks, Julie. No, honestly. Thanks. It was the first time I felt... I really felt something.
Good.
I suppose. One Saturday, he said, "You don't want me watching you play football anymore, do you, son?" I still did. Of course I did, but... there was something in the way that he said it. I knew it wasn't what he wanted. It wasn't the right answer. So... No. No, I don't, Dad. And that was it. I never saw him on a Saturday again. And he was still there, living there, in the house. But he was gone.
How old were you?
12, 13.
Same age as Sam is now.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just...
Right, lads. You out for the night?
Only down there.
You on privileges? I'm an ex-kid. Go on.
Right.
Right.
Good to see you. You're looking well.
Good to see you.
Let's go inside.
Your pals here, we're going to go over the flat.
No, this isn't the time. There's a lot to catch up on.
See you later.
Yeah. Cheers. Is it like a real nut house? With loonies screaming and all that?
Not that bad. Doesn't look that bad. She's not a loony. It's just... It's like she's someone else. I'm someone else. It's weird.
Right, lads. Cozying up.
Brian, I told you we could go into town. There's nothing for you here.
I wouldn't say that. You can have a lot of fun in a gaff like this. A lot of fun. How long you been here then?
Not long.
Chicken. Lay a little egg for me.
I'm not playing, Brian. Russell, come on. Time to get back. Lester, you can stay a little while. Come on, Russell. Come on.
Was that spliff? I only gave it you for a blow. Now, who told you you could finish it?
Lester's well able to look after himself. You go back.
Thanks, Mr. Jackson.
No way is Brian Marshall getting his hands on you. Go home, son.
No, you listen to me. Now you are going to hear it. You are the most unreliable and disgusting piece of affair I have ever met in my entire life. Thank you. Thank you.
No puff. That's what you're thinking. I'm making good money. They want to be sick bastards. Why not let them be? They're the sickos, not me.
Do you want to come round my place tomorrow?
Yeah?
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah.
Looking good.
How you doing?
The lie down suits you.
3 hot on a cot.
No stress?
No.
What can I get you?
What you got?
You pull your own wire. You don't think about it. So you let some geezer like last night do it. What's the difference? He pays you 20 quid. He was alright. Been inside. Prison bent. That's what they call it. It's not proper bent, it's just like an habit that you pick up. Yeah, it's nice.
I have a key stashed round the back. Want things ready for Mum coming home. Come on.
Cool. Starving.
It's been clean.
Maybe Mum's home.
No people! There's no people! Where are we going to live?
I mean, you've got to ask, is there anybody that hasn't been sexually abused?
You feeling left out? Just because you weren't abused, you're still a good person.
Yeah.
Because Jackson is an owner-manager, social services are very sensitive about letting him know or putting him under suspension. He could simply shut up shop.
It's their call. Suits us if you don't know just yet.
Well, they will let us use their offices to interview the kids.
We're social workers present. Good. We're not hanging about.
Here. Get off me! Get off me!
Yeah, that's them.
All time.
If you could sign for them.
Uh-huh.
They are there.
Mr. Jackson.
Hello, Inspector.
Some of yours?
Yeah, a couple of wise guys. Come on. Russell?
United!
Your mum hadn't been paying the rent. Not for months. That's how they were so quick once you were out. I'm sorry, you should have been told, but I wasn't. As far as I know, Christina hasn't been. But no matter how angry you are, Russell, no matter how justified you feel, you can't destroy someone else's home or risk getting back together with your mum. Because your mum's doctors, Christina, they're all going to want to know your behaviour isn't going to make her worse. Now, I can stick up for you, Christina can, but not to the point where we're pretending you're not a handful.
I know, I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson.
Christina's here to see you. The police called her. Have a chat with her, and then try to relax. I know you're upset. And I know it's been upsetting for you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson.
I know you are. Now go on. Go over to the privileges flat.
This time of night, I can't believe I'm still working. Not everyone gets this kind of service, you know. So, you thought you were on changing rooms. You didn't like what they'd done. You weren't, oh, Karen, it's so wonderful, I think I'm gonna cry. You're more like, fuck's sake, Carol. That's better. You need to try and relax, Russell. You need to stop taking things so seriously. I mean, carpet might not have been to your taste, but... I like it when you smile. Do you like me? That's what I hoped. You have the most beautiful eyes.
Hey, you two. We've the place to ourselves.
Someone else stinks of fish.
this way. You move. Yvonne, get out of the way.
Russell, are you alright?
I'm alright.
Well, get some breakfast and get ready for school. Gamer, are you okay?
Lester MacDonald. In care since he was 4. Query of sexual abuse in the home. Virtually no family contact. Broken placements, homes, foster families. Minimal social work supervision. Classic lost in care child. Lester's been in Meadowland since it opened. Before that, he was in homes, foster families.
2 homes Thompson worked in.
And Jackson.
And each time Lester's moved, it's been the same time Thompson and Jackson have.
Lester's likely to have become a career prostitute within the care system. Sir?
Yeah, no. I'll take this one. You talk to Lester.
So, you've been at Meadowlands longer than anyone else.
Longest, yeah.
Is there anything that may have gone on there in the time that you've been there? Anything that you've not been happy with?
Well, the food shit. Brussels sprouts, fart bombs. You ever at home?
I was thinking more about the staff. How the staff treat you.
Oh, staff are alright.
No complaints?
You have murders and that, don't you? I might become a copper.
If I tell you something, can I go home?
Well, you mustn't just tell me something so you can go home. No, I don't know.
Going home is a very long-term option, Richard. You know that.
If you want to be moved,
I want to go home.
we're here to take care of you, Richard. So if there's
I
something...
told you.
Like we talked about,
Mr. Jackson never touched me.
Mr. Jackson.
No one.
You get to visit your grands, though.
Yeah.
Most of the others don't. So that's good.
Yeah.
Who decides that? That you can visit?
Dunno.
When you said Mr. Jackson, we hadn't mentioned Mr. Jackson, had we? I wonder why you were putting words in his mouth. I'm sorry? You know you are. I'm just pointing out.
I call Jacko's a boss man. Wherever he sees goes.
Thank you.
This is Russell.
Hello, son.
Detective Inspector Fenton and Detective Sergeant Savage.
All sounds very serious.
Sit down, Russell.
I'll just stand there, eh, Russell? All these United fans. Playing tonight.
Not gonna win, though.
How's your mum getting on?
All right.
Good. Now, the reason you're here today, Russell, is I want to ask you a few questions about Meadowlands. You happy there?
It's all right.
You've not been in a home before, have you?
No.
Must be very different for you, eh? Nothing strange about it. Can't believe that. My mum was in hospital when I was your age. For the same reason yours is. 3 times. I got sent to my aunt's. God, I hated it there. She had 2 sons, much older than me. They gave me a right time. Bullying. I can say that now. I couldn't then. thought, if I say anything, it'll cause trouble. I was being loyal to my mum. See? People wanted to help. If there are things happening to you here that are bothering you, people can help. Christina here can. I can.
Mum.
Nothing you tell us will get you into trouble.
I'm fine, I'm alright.
He's being abused, isn't he?
He's not happy.
I want to lift Jackson tomorrow.
Why do you think you identified so much with Russell?
What?
Come on. What you did in there, the connection you made. And now you want to lift Jackson.
And don't you?
Of course I do.
Well, then what's the problem? What's so psychological about that?
Sorry I spoke.
What do you think you're doing?
What?
No way.
I just threw them out.
No way. Sam, go to bed.
They're mine.
Matthew, no way. Are you that... I don't believe it. Sam! I don't recognise you. Sam!
Don't worry, love. I'm all right.
That's horrible throwing Grandad out like that.
What? Oops. My mascara wrong.
Dad?
I'm upset, that's all.
What? But why? Most people I know, their mum and dad are split up. It's not a big deal.
Is it not? Well, it wouldn't be if your mum and me. You wouldn't be bothered. Go on, go to bed. I'm all right.
You're not, are you, Dad? You and Mum?
No, of course not. Don't be daft. Go on. I'm sorry, Pet. Sam. Thanks a lot. Simon. Did you... Don't tell me the score. Did you tape the game last night?
Mm-hmm.
Am I not going to be even a little bit happy?
He said don't say anything.
Goodbye, son.
Let's go and see the happy family.
Inspector Fenton.
Mr. Jackson. We need to have a word.
Darling, this is Detective Inspector Fenton. He's in charge of the case against Wally. Remember I was telling you?
Yeah, of course. Hello.
It seems there's been some sort of allegation against me.
Against Alistair?
That's correct.
Inspector Fenton's here to help sort it out.
What happened was a Thursday. I know it was Thursday because Top of the Pops was on in the television room when it used to be on a Thursday. And I know it was February because it was a few days after Valentine's Day. Two of the boys had got cards from girls in the town. That's when they decided to run away. Police brought them back the next night. There was a lot of drama and excitement, but I just wanted to watch telly.
Sports news now, and United lost 2-0 at home. A capacity crowd at Elland Road witnessed United.
You didn't miss
by the
much.
reigning champions.
Tea or coffee?
No, thanks.
It's a very difficult job you do. People's memories, recollections. I mean, even at the best of times, childhood is an uncertain country.
We'll be finished shortly.
I was told to go to a room upstairs. A man came in. He was wearing ordinary clothes. He held me down onto the bed. He started pulling at my pyjama bottoms. I was crying, asking him to stop. I was pleading with him.
Do you know who this man was?
Not his name. He was just the policeman who brought the boys back.
A police officer?
Yeah. He had his penis out. I was fighting him. I was confused. He penetrated me, but not... I couldn't believe it was happening, that this man was... inside me. I'd never...
Do you know the police officer's name?
All I have is the number on his shoulder. All these years it's been like a tattoo.
Greta, you said earlier that he was wearing civilian clothes.
He was. That night. But he was back a few months later about someone else. I saw his number then.
The same man?
Don't believe me? Check! 9512. Number 9512.
Yep. Oh, lovely. Copper kiddie fiddler, that's all we need. Get the duty logs for the year. Check out the number she gave you. Such a long shot, she could have it right.
Dirty old perv!
Lock him up! 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 Lock him up!
What did you say? What did you say to him? Look! Taking Mr. Jackson away!
Get away from me! Oh, fuck off.
Well?
There was an officer number 9512 in the station that February. Police Constable Barry Grimes. Is he there?
Yeah.
PC Grimes.
Thanks a lot.
Real Men concludes tomorrow night at the same time, 9 o'clock, here on BBC Two. For